The top stories: the Ministry of Skills and Labor announces it has created over 300,000 overseas jobs in the past 12 months. And Ethiopia's ambassador to China says Ethiopia is working to narrow the gap in the trade imbalances with China. Welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, with the latest news highlights of the hour. I am Tabitha John. To stay with us, Minister of State for Economic and Political Diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, Ambassador Misganu Arega, and his Japanese counterpart, Tsuji Kyoto, had a discussion on bilateral and multilateral cooperation in Tokyo on Sunday. At the outset, State Minister Tsuji of Japan stated that Japan would like to further deepen bilateral relations and cooperation towards regional peace and security and also international arena, while referring to policy consultations in April this year. In response, State Minister Misganu expressed his appreciation for assistance by Japan and his hope to further strengthen already good bilateral relations between the two countries. The two sides shared their view to continue working closely for peace and stability in Ethiopia and also in the Horn of Africa region. The two sides also confirmed to work together in order to increase investment from Japan to Ethiopia. They confirmed the development of Ethiopia-Japan relations towards TICAD 9 next year, according to a statement published by the Foreign Ministry of Japan. Industry Minister Melaku Alebel said import substitution has registered remarkable results in the concluded Ethiopian fiscal year. Discussion is underway on the annual performance review of Industry Ministry and plan for 2017 Ethiopian fiscal year in Hawassa. Speaking on the occasion, the minister pointed out that great achievements were gained with regards to import substitution to ensure trade balance. The industry's market share has now reached 39% and work is underway to increase it to 60% in line to the 10 years National Development Plan, it was indicated. According to Melaku, expanding new industries and enabling the Made in Ethiopia campaign, substitute imported materials were amongst the successful. A total of 96 products, including textile and apparel, skin and hide products, chemical and construction materials, manufacturing technology and food and beverage products were identified to substitute import. The Ministry of Labor and Skills said it has created over 300,000 foreign jobs in the just concluded Ethiopian fiscal year. Talking to EBC World, Minister of Skills and Labor Muferiat Kamil said her office is committed to creating more jobs for youth in the near future. Habtamu Ashagri has this report.
Recently, Ethiopia is targeting to export skilled and qualified workforce in various Middle East countries. In connection of that, Ministry of Skill and Labor said over 300,000 jobs have been created over the concluded fiscal year.
This year only, we've sent about 345,000 men and women, but currently we've started sending skilled and semi-skilled labor force apart from domestic. So it's encouraging for the youth, as if it is their choice. As a government, we have to create, the legal route for them.
According to Muferihat, her office is committed to deliver more initiative aligned with the private sector to provide equal job access. Muferihat stressed that the ministry is striving hard the youth to fulfill adequate skill as well as to qualify the desire of the overseas market.
The ministry is, since its establishment, we're committed to deliver what's expected from us by, designing several reform initiatives. For instance, there are about 38 reform initiatives in the ministry following the aspiration of Ethiopia to create a quality job for the youth. And at macro level, if we can see the commitment of the government is determined to create a conducive environment and a suitable ecosystem for the private sector.
The ministry has adopted a new system that users can use the digital access to have proper information and able to create conducive job ecosystem.
Currently, we've developed a system which is called Ethiopian Labor Market Information System to govern the labor market so that the youth can have a digital access for skill apart from the physical access we have through our training institutions. We already have overhauled the TV system to create that conducive ecosystem so that the youth can have the entrepreneurial mindset during their stay in technical and vocational training schools.
The minister remarked proper training has given for youths who are joining the foreign job overseas to ensure the security as well as the well-being of employees abroad.
And finally, Ethiopia's relationship with China has grown into a vital component of its economic strategy and a key part of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. Approached by CGTN, Tefera Derebo, Ethiopia's ambassador to China, said the bilateral relation between the two countries has elevated to an all-weather strategic partnership following last year's Ethiopian Prime Minister's visit to China. Regarding the trade partnership, Ambassador Tefera expressed Ethiopia's interest to narrow the gap in the trade imbalance, although increasing at an increasing rate. Johannes Fantahun has more on this.
The bilateral and trade relations between Ethiopia and China have evolved significantly over the past few decades, becoming a cornerstone of Ethiopia's economic development strategy and a critical aspect of China's Belt and Road Initiative. These relations are characterized by extensive economic cooperation, particularly in infrastructure development, foreign direct investment and trade. Speaking to CGTN, Ambassador Tefera Derebo, Ethiopia's ambassador to China, said following Prime Minister Abiy's visit to China, the bilateral relations between the two countries has elevated to always strategic partnership.
Ethiopia and China has enjoyed a long-standing and historic bilateral relationship. This has been growing fast. It has been further enhanced and strengthened in the last 2 decades. Last year, during our Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed's official visit, the two countries elevated their bilateral relationship to the level of an all-weather strategic partnership.
According to Ambassador Tefera, similar to the bilateral relations, the trade and economic relations between Ethiopia and China is growing in an increasing rate, although it favors China. The ambassador noted that Ethiopia is working with Chinese counterpart to narrow the gap in the trade imbalance.
Taking the trade balance between the two countries, it's currently in favor of China. We are working closely with our Chinese counterparts so that we can narrow the gap. To this end, we are approaching the issue in 3 dimensions. The first one is we are working on increasing the volume and value of currently exported commodities from Ethiopia to China. The second one is we are closely working with our Chinese partners to bring new additional commodities from Ethiopia. Like we are working on the sanitary and phytosanitary aspect of meat and meat products, Ethiopian meat and meat products to be exported to China. We are working on avocado. We have finalized the sanitary and phytosanitary procedure for kidney beans. We are working on cassava, and other commodities are coming. And the third one is we are promoting and selling our products on online platforms. Currently, we have Ethiopian online pavilion in JD.com. We are working on WeChat and other platforms. So through this approach, we are trying to increase the volume and value of Ethiopian products being exported to China.
The ambassador also mentioned the visible aspects of the relationship, including the extensive infrastructure development funded by Chinese loans and investment projects, such as the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway and various industrial parks, which have been pivotal in transforming Ethiopia's infrastructure landscape.
You're watching ABC World. A quick reminder of the stories making headlines. The Ministry of Skills and Labor announces it has created over 300,000 overseas jobs in the past 12 months. And Ethiopia's ambassador to China says Ethiopia is working to narrow the gap in the trade imbalances with China. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Many thanks for watching. Have a good time and do take care.